My name is Sam. I'm the director of the California Forum Crossroads, and this is always a pleasure to get folks out engaging on the ideas and issues. The California Forum Crossroads started in 1990 as a way of getting African Americans engaged in ideas and taking part of that, their civic responsibility. And these ideas, this opportunity, this place is a very safe place. We want everyone to understand that. You may disagree with someone, but in this place, you're safe. This is a very safe place. And so tonight we're going to be presenting discussions pro and con on Proposition 19. Now, whatever you know about the Proposition 19, I've learned a whole lot about it, whether you're, for the medical purposes, or you're for it, or for the pleasure purposes you're for it, or for the moral purposes you're against it.
But let me ask you the question. How many of you believe that we in the United States of America are in better shape today than we were 5 years ago with regard to the critical issue of drug abuse and all of the crime and misery that goes with it? Okay, I see 3 hands, which is probably 3 more than I usually see. But what really most people do understand is what we're doing isn't working. And what's the first realization after you come to that conclusion? And that is, we have no legitimate expectation of being in better shape next year than we're in today, unless we change our approach. So let's talk about this. Everyone in this room is on the same side of this issue. Every single one of us. We all want to reduce drug abuse and all the crime and misery that goes with it. So let's put our heads together and try to come up with something that will work. From my perspective, and I've been a judge for 25 years, we're facing 2 significant problems in this area. The first is drug harms, and anything that is said with regard to various drugs of this kind, be it marijuana or anything else, I will pretty much agree with. They are harmful, and they will bring harms upon the user. But the second problem we're facing is far more serious, and that is drug money harms. And if you look at it, you look at what is happening today. Marijuana is the largest cash crop in the state of California today. Number 2 is grapes, by the way. So if you're concerned about that, regardless of whether Proposition 19 passes or not, we're still going to have marijuana in our communities. We cannot get rid of it. So let's try to manage the problem instead of moralize about it.
Prop 19 will legalize the growing, the transportation, the packaging, the selling, the smoking. It'll do everything. And here's what we know in terms of drug policy. It's a 3-tiered approach: prevention, drug treatment, and drug interdiction. Now, I'll agree that the United States has not done the best in terms of drug prevention. We need more drug prevention, don't we? Yes. We need more drug treatment. Yes. And I think we're doing a pretty good job on drug interdiction. Now, it's true that the kids say that they can get marijuana easier than any other drug. They can get it easier than alcohol. They can get it easier than cigarettes. That's what they say. But guess what? They don't. What are the top 3 drugs of abuse in our children in California? What are they? Alcohol, tobacco, prescription drug abuse. Not marijuana. These are all legal. They're all taxed. They're all regulated. They're all controlled. And yet, more kids take those 3 drugs than any other drugs, right? We actually have a very bad track record of keeping legal, controlled, regulated drugs out of the hands of our youth. And now we want to legalize pot?
I am a nurse. I take care of sick people, and I help people to not get sick. I'm here to speak on the benefits to the health of the individual, of the family, and of the community that will occur with the passage of Proposition 19. Although there is a virtual cornucopia of research studies showing the extraordinary medical uses of cannabis, from its legendary ability to relieve pain, facilitate sleep, and mediate the effects of depression and anxiety, not to mention the new research out there that shows the incredible cancer prevention and even possibly cancer curative properties of cannabis. I'm here to speak what I consider to be the most important reason to vote yes on Proposition 19, and that is the recreational use of cannabis. In 1998, the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism pegged the annual social and health care costs of alcohol use in this country at $185 billion a year. Now it's probably over $200 billion a year. Where is all that money going? Well, I can tell you a lot of it is going to our nation's hospitals. I'm a nurse. I have taken care of people in the cardiac wing with their heart muscles deteriorating totally due to their use of alcohol. I've taken care of patients with pancreatitis, cirrhosis of the liver, their brains rotting in their heads from their use of alcohol. But I have never taken care of one patient, and neither has any other nurse I ever worked with have ever taken care of a single patient in a hospital bed because of their use of marijuana. Not one.
We bury 500,000 individuals for tobacco every year. How do I know that? Because being a bishop, I have to look in the coffins. I have to sit at the bedside and watch them and sometimes hold their hand while they die of cancer. He says that marijuana is not dangerous. Scientists have told us that it is 3 to 4 times more carcinogenic than cigarettes. Tobacco. In fact, we have a study that tells us when you smoke 3 to 4 joints a day, it's like smoking a pack of cigarettes. Isn't that amazing? And so for them to belittle and to think that we don't have common sense to just believe that anything you ingest in your body or inhale in your body that you have to smoke is not dangerous. Let me tell you how my kids used to say to me, duh.
Portugal decriminalized all drugs in 2001, and you know what happened? Nothing. They found out after looking at 7 years of this experiment that drug usage in Portugal nationwide basically stayed the same. If anything, it went down 0.5 percentage point. But you know what else they found? Problem drug usage went down by 50%. Why? Because previously, like in our country, problem users are not going to bring their problems to the government. Why? Because the government will punish them, so they take them underground. But now that it's no longer illegal, people went to the government to get that drug help, get that drug assistance, because they were using it for drug treatment instead of incarceration. And the government wasn't spending all of this money on investigation, prosecution, incarceration. They had money left for treatment. And even the children, they found that a lot of kids were not starting to take these drugs, not starting to go down this road. Why? You know what the kids said? Why should I take these drugs and go see a doctor? That's no fun. That's not much interesting. And so it works. The more we regulate and control, the better we will be. Proposition 19 will do that. We'll start that regulatory process.
Minority communities, very susceptible to price change, right? So thank you for raising your hand against this, because if price change drops, it will absolutely affect the African American community. You know what? So I agree that there are disparities of arrest. There are problems of incarceration in our prison systems. I agree with that. This is not the answer. And we have to work on that. We absolutely have to work on it. But bringing more drugs into the African American community? Absolutely not. We do not need another excuse for another reason why we don't have goals. What we need is we need education, we need workforce development, we need investment into the community. These are the things that we need. We absolutely need that. We need to work on the incarceration system, absolutely. But this is not the way. This is absolutely not the way.
The marijuana is here. It will always be here. It's the largest cash crop in our state, and it is corrupting people. It is corrupting our youth. It is luring them into the very lifestyle that we're trying to keep them away from. So in all of these discussions, yes, they're harmful, but bear in mind it's not just drug harms we're facing, it's drug money harms. And today, by the way, before I end this, there are thousands of people in prison today because they did nothing but smoke marijuana today. Why? Because they were on parole for one reason or another, and that always means use no form of illicit substance. They smoke marijuana, they're back in prison, which is really downright stupid.
Legalizing marijuana will never stop the colored people from going to jail. You want me to tell you why? The Federal Bureau of Justice statistics have told us that murders, 59% of murders in America is by the black community. 50% of robberies in America is by the black community. The drug legalizers. You know, I try not to get offended. I try to keep my cool. But when you start talking about the black community and you've never been there, just stay away. I'm sorry, can I get down like that? I'm at home. I know Brother Harry on the street, I can't do all, but I'm at home. Look, this is the reason why I had called for the resignation of Alice Huffman, not to be mean, not that put an attack on her, but because our civil rights leaders have to clearly understand this one thing. What causes the devastation in the black community? You got to understand that. If you don't understand that, then you can't leave. We're in Oak Park. Here in Oak Park, I lived in Oak Park all my life. I can find any dope I want to find. From methamphetamine to crack cocaine to heroin to ecstasy, what's causing the devastation in our community? And that's the reason why I called for her resignation, because our civil rights leaders cannot stand with drug legalizers and drug policies and open the door to the black and colored community and say, let's get them high. You just can't do it. I made a lot of folks mad because of that. But I believe that Martin Luther King would turn over in his grave if he clearly understood that our oldest civil rights organization was calling legalizing a Schedule I drug civil rights.
You've just heard a conversation about California's ballot initiative, Proposition 19, whether or not marijuana should be legal or illegal in California. We hope you enjoyed this conversation. Voice your opinion. Tell us what you think by going to our Facebook page, California Forum Crossroads. Again, California Forum Crossroads. Don't forget to vote November 2nd. Peace.